We often tell you on GMBN Tech just how important bike fit is and just how much difference the correct size bike can make to your riding. So today we're going to give you a bit of an exaggerated example. I'm going to attempt to ride
yours
bikes.
out, Johnny. Oh God, yours is massive.
Okay, so as you could probably notice, I'm a little bit taller than Blake. So you're 5'7", 5'8"?
5'8", 172 centimeters. That's my Canyon Strive in a medium-sized frame. 29-inch wheels. I do prefer 27.5 because of the maneuverability and all that jazz. But the reach on that is 440 millimeters. The bars, for me, 760 mil is the perfect width, and the rise on that is 20 mil.
Oh, that's cute.
And you? You're like 7-something?
Yeah, I'm 6'3" or so 194 centimeters. Always ride an XL or a double XL if they make them. I've never had a bike that's too big for me. So that's the biggest reactor in a 29-inch. I run a full 800mm bar on all my bikes. Yeah, that's about all you really need to know for now. But there is something in here that's quite clearly obvious. I cannot raise your saddle any higher than that.
No, you can't.
Because of the way it's positioned in the frame of the cabling. So that is the highest position I'm able to get, and my knees already hit the bars.
And that is the perfect height for me.
Yeah, so you've nearly got the complete opposite problem.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's get on the trail and we can pick this up a bit later in the video and just see exactly what these sort of differences are going to make. Should be pretty funny.
Oh, mate, barge. I can't wait to ride a barge.
Right, let's just go and get a feel of some trails, just to see how the bike's
Don't forget to put your saddle down, though.
It kind of already is. I'm just going to leave it as it is.
You can roll this. Oh, there's a barge. Swear. Oh, gets a bit big for me. Bit of a passenger. Oh, off the trail.
Slightly erratic.
I don't get it, Dottie. How can you ride a bike with such geometry and length and it's just disgusting?
Dude, I feel exactly the same. So to be fair, actually the bike feels pretty good for you there because it's pretty tight in places.
Yeah.
The problem I've got is because I don't fit the bike, I'm basically leaning off the back. So the front slides, so I lean forward to move it and then there's a route there and you're like, ah!
Well, at least you've got the opportunity to move around. I can't, I am just stuck in this plank position.
You know, it's that monster.
I can't even turn it through the sections up there.
I know this trail pretty good on my own bike, and I have to hop it loads.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm used to the weight on the bike because my weight flatters the long bike, you know.
Yeah. Oh, we've still got quite a lot more trail to go.
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
I'm actually looking forward to when it opens up, flat out trail.
That's going to be good when it's quick.
So I can point and shoot.
This might not be quite as good.
Come on, Johnny!
Oh my!
Oh, right, now that's where the bike comes into its element. The length of it at speed is so stable. Coming out of those horrible twisty turny things, horrible where I can't just move my body weight around, whereas going fast in a straight line, it's incredibly cool. It's like luxurious. Let's carry on. Luxurious is actually the word.
I live my life like a dream. She flying designer jeans, but more likely lie by the ocean. I live my life by the beach, ain't affected by effing traffic. No more in the car that screech. I don't bother with seeing people. I hope they ain't mad at me.
So over the years, I've actually ridden all sizes and variants of bike. Bearing in mind, I've been doing this now for 20 odd years. And this is actually taking me back to when I first sort of started as a journalist and the sizing of the bikes. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a modern bike. It's got modernized geometry and features on it, great suspension. It's obviously just far too small for me, but it has taken me straight back to some early press trips that I did. Now, one of these was actually riding at Whistler on a downhill bike. Picture me on a downhill bike, a size small with 26-inch wheels. And I actually hooked my shorts over the top of the twin crown and had one of the biggest crashes I've ever had. I got a big hematoma on my leg, and I did get away with it, to be fair, and I was riding a few days later. But it's really made me realise just how much your weight affects the position on the bike. Now, all the trails we've been riding here at Bike Park Wales today, I'm familiar with. I've ridden them on my own bikes numerous times. But honestly, the position and what your weight does to the bike is actually massively significant. And I urge everyone to actually try something that's too big and too small to really understand what is going on the bike. So the old school of thought was to have a bike that was smaller so you could sort of throw it around. And to a degree, it kind of makes sense, but you're losing out massively on stability, and there's a huge effect you have with that by having too much weight in the wrong place on the bike. Now, it's exaggerated because I'm really tall riding a small bike, and what happens is my body weight, centre of gravity, is much higher up. Okay, so at any point on a trail, I'm either having to excessively load the front wheel or excessively load the rear wheel, okay, to actually do anything. So quite often I'm finding the front end is slipping out on this, and it's because I'm leaning back. Well, I'm not actually leaning back as such, I'm in my natural riding position, but because the bike's so short, I'm hanging off the back of the bike. And you get the complete opposite problem with climbing, doing wheel spins the whole time, even though the bike is tiny, because I'm having to lean so far forwards, which leads to another thing, getting the forearms in an unnatural position. And you can imagine riding a heavy bike that's too small up a extreme climb quite a lot. You're going to start feeling this on your arms a lot more than you should do for your body size. And actually, I think Blake is having the complete opposite, as you'd imagine, effects of riding a really large bike. He's getting all the benefits of the stability in that, but physically not being big enough to get himself in the right place to load up the front end or load up the rear end.
Bonus to riding a big bike, and that is when you jump on it to climb to the top of the trail, there's actually nothing to it. You kind of sit there and just chill out, where I think the one that's going to be suffering a little bit more is Dotty, because he's going to be all cramped up. When it came to riding some techie trail, now this is where the bike turned into an absolute barge. I couldn't really move the bike around. I couldn't be as playful as I wanted to be on it. I was basically a passenger. Now, when it came to a straight line run and speed was involved, this bike felt so stable. I kind of sat there and relaxed and chilled out because I was confident and comfortable on it. But when it came to being a bit playful on the trail, where I tried to do some manuals and doing some popping and stuff, hell no. I got a sudden realization that this bike is too big for me and I couldn't do anything like that. Now that's where I like a smaller bike. Smaller wheel, 27.5 is the sweet spot for me. But I can see the benefits of other riders riding a longer bike, being that little bit more stable when it comes to faster terrain.
Although my bike clearly is far too long for Blake, it's actually not that bad on the climbs because his weight is pretty central. Kind of makes for quite an efficient climbing position. Got to be careful not to bash my knees on the stem. Blake's diddy little canyon though really is tiny for me. There's a combination of things at hand. That low saddle especially though is absolutely killing my thighs and my knees. And speaking of my knees, every time we go around a tight switchback turn, of which there's loads on the Beast of Burden, I'm either changing gear by accident with my knee or I'm hitting the dropper post lever, making things even worse. Nice day for a downhill bike ride.
Great day to be riding Dad's bike.
I've got to lean forward to stop the front coming off the ground.
It's like a barge. This thing. Barge coming through, Dotty. Blind.
Even if I go on the brake levers, the bike's still like tiny. Her legs are burning. I can't even get any power down, dude.
This is quite big for me. I'm just letting it roll.
You're on a limo, man.
Yeah.
It's designed for this stuff.
Have you got the champagne glasses in the back seat?
It's got something on the back seat and it ain't champagne.
Johnny, this is brilliant.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm starting to regret this as an idea. Our legs are on fire, dude.
Mine are not.
Oh my God.
I'm stretching out my groin.
Okay, well, pretty clear that both of us have been on the wrong size bikes, but what did you think of riding the bigger bike?
Do you know, I felt a little bit at ease on a bigger bike than you were on a smaller bike.
Yeah.
I think you were more pain than I was on a climb than...
Yeah, in a lot of ways actually. So the climb, I expected it because you're cramped up, but I couldn't obviously get the saddle high enough on the bike, so that just really killed my knees and killed my thighs. But weirdly, my legs hurt more on the descents because I'm off the back of the bike.
Constantly.
And it's not like you try and lean back, it's just your natural position. It ends up, the saddle's here most of the time.
Yeah.
It's really strange, and yeah, the thighs hurt a lot more because of that.
Yep.
And that's down to literally being too small for me.
Well, the descents for me, I felt comfortable and confident because this thing is, you know, long wheelbase. It tracks the ground really well. It's stable. I liked it actually.
Changing direction though seemed to be a bit of a problem
Oh,
when
that
it
was
was a bit
just
tighter.
yeah, it was actually really horrible. I couldn't be as playful as I would be on that.
Yeah, do you know, one last thing really to summarise though was this is small and this is a playful bike, but I struggled in the exact same places as you did for a different reason.
Weird.
So because my body weight is higher on a smaller bike, where the front wheel was washing out like constantly, I couldn't get myself in a position to recover it, and you just wash out on the next thing straight away.
Yeah.
I guess the moral of the story is make sure you're on a bike that fits you. I definitely think on the slightly bigger side, it's going to be to benefit to people though,
I think
on
so.
the smaller side.
I do think so as well.
And we still see a lot of people picking a slightly smaller bike because they think it's more playful. I think you referenced your brother.
My brother does that. He is 6 foot and he always goes for a medium-sized frame because he thinks it's more playful.
So having ridden this today, that just seems like madness to me. Yeah, all right, the bike was still great fun to ride, it's a mountain bike, but do I want to ride it again? Absolutely not.
Do I want to ride this again?
Give me my own bike
Yeah,
back.
can I have that one back?
Yeah, 100%. Let us know what size bikes you ride, what height you are. Do you think you're on a bike too small or too big? Let us know in those comments, and hopefully see you in the next video. It's all right.
Ciao.